Hi, welcome to Learner's Planet. Children, this is our second session on the topic profit and loss. In the previous session, we discussed some basic terminologies that are used in profit and loss, and we also did some very simple sums on that, in which we had the CP and SP given. And in this session, we'll be starting off with some word problems, some very basic word problems in which you have to identify whether it's profit or loss, and then what amount is the profit or what is the loss. Okay, so you can try to solve them with me if you've got the concept, or else you can just see how it is to be done. Now children, this is the first word problem that we have here. Children, before we start reading this word problem, always remember this one point, that whenever you read a word problem of any topic, be it addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or even profit and loss, you should always underline the important points, so that when you solve the word problem, you already know what important is and you don't need to read the whole word problem again. Okay, so we'll be doing this in all the word problems that we do. So the first one is here: Louis bought a bike for rupees 10 lakh, and after 3 years he sold it to a friend of his at rupees 10 lakh 60,000. Okay, so what does he incur? Profit or loss? How much is it? Now we have already underlined the important points. What does he incur, in the sense that whether he earns a profit or he has a loss. Okay, so we have to mention whether it's profit or loss and what amount is the profit or what amount is the loss. Okay, so in the word problems, the most important thing is writing down the statements. Alright, so we'll write down the statements in the form of SP minus CP. So first we'll write down the selling price statement, okay, and then we'll write down the cost price statement. So Louis sold his bike for rupees, now that is 10 lakh 60,000. Okay, and Louis bought a bike for rupees 10 lakh. Now this is the CP over here. I'm sorry, this is the SP and this is the CP. Now we'll subtract CP from SP. So there's a negative sign and we get 60,000. Alright, and it's positive 60,000. Okay, so the last statement will be Louis earned a profit of rupees 60,000. And after you have done these three steps, the last statement you'll again have to write that after selling the bike for 10 lakh 60,000, Louis earned a profit of 60,000. Okay, so over here we also answered the question of what he has, profit or loss, and we also got the amount. Okay, so these are the steps that we'll have to follow in each and every sum. Now children, if you first write the cost price and then write the selling price, what you should do is, first, if you've written Louis bought a bike for 10 lakh and then Louis sold a bike for 10 lakh 60,000. So later on, don't show the calculation over here itself. If I've written it that way, then I'll again rewrite it as 10 lakh 60,000 somewhere in the middle, so that ma'am can see the calculation, and then subtract 10 lakh from it. Alright, and then we'll get 60,000, which is the profit. Okay, so then over here you'll write down the statement that Louis earned a profit of 60,000. Okay, and if you know the symbol of the monetary unit is given, maybe rupees, RS, or US dollars or British pound, whatever, then you should always write down the symbol. Alright, so we'll take a few more word problems. Now this is next sum. Harry buys a hat. So buys a hat for $200, and after it got damaged, he sold it to a second-hand shop for $155. Okay, sold it. How much loss does over here? Okay, does he face? So over here we already know that it's loss because they have given it to us. Now we just have to find out the amount. Okay, so again we'll write down the statements. Okay, and we'll have the formula of SP minus CP. Okay, so Harry sold the hat for $155. Okay, and Harry bought a hat for $200. Now we have it. We have this statement over here. So now all that's left to do is subtract it. Alright, so we will subtract this, and see, now the SP over here is 155 and CP is 200. So we are following the right path. Now we'll just have to subtract. So the answer will be minus 45. Now if you're getting minus 45, we know that it's loss and the amount of loss is 45. So the last statement will be Harry incurs a loss of $45. Okay, now similarly we'll do the next sum. Now we have this third sum with us. Liam bought a dress for his elder sister for $9,000, and as the dress got old, his sister sold to some shop at $7,500. How much profit or loss does she have? Okay, now in this we have to mention whether it's profit or loss and how much it is. Okay, now children, over here Liam bought the dress, but his sister is selling, so that does not matter because he especially bought it for his sister. Okay, so take that point into consideration. Now again we'll have the same formula, SP minus CP. Alright, and he bought it for 9,000, so that's cost price, and selling price is $7,500. Now again we'll have the same statements. Liam's sister. Okay, now over here you'll have to mention Liam's sister because she sold it. Alright, Liam's sister sold the dress at $7,500, and Liam bought the dress at $9,000. Now again it's SP minus CP, so we'll have minus $1,500. Now we'll have the statement as Liam's sister incurs a loss of $1,500. Now children, if you've put the minus sign over here, then you obviously cannot write the statement like that, because in the statement this negative sign won't be suitable. So you'll have to write it at the end of the whole sum. Alright, so now we'll take one more sum which is of similar type. Now this is the fourth sum that we have. Zane buys a bulldog for $10,000 and later he sells the dog to a dog shop at $10,500. So he sells it. What does he get, profit or loss? Now in this you have to mention just profit and loss. But for that also we'll have to do the calculation. Alright. So again we'll have the same statements. But first it's SP minus CP. This is the CP and this over here is the SP. So Zane sold the bulldog for $10,500. Zane bought the bulldog for $10,000. Now we'll have the subtraction and that is $500. So Zane sells the bulldog at a profit of $500. Alright, so this profit is also there and the amount is also there. Alright. Now this is the last sum for this session. Niall bought a bouquet of roses for his mother at a cost of $50. But on his way to his house they got spoiled. So he resold them to that flower shop for $40. What is his loss? So we already know that it's loss because it's given in the question. So again we'll follow the same. Now this is the cost price, this is the selling price. So the statements, but before that selling price minus cost price. So Niall sold the bouquet of roses for $40 and Niall bought the bouquet of roses for $50. Now again subtraction, so that's minus $10. So we'll have to write down the statement. Niall sold the bouquet of roses at a loss of $10. Alright, so wasn't this easy? Children, in such simple word problems when the cost price and the selling price both are given to you, the only thing you have to do is identify what is the cost price and what's the selling price, and then you just have to do the procedure of subtraction of CP from SP. Alright, and these statements, they're same in all the questions. It's just that the name is the difference. The name is different, the price is different, and what the product is, that is different. Alright, so just keep these points in mind. So children, in this session we just saw the beginner's word problem. In the next session we'll be taking some twisted word problems in which either profit or loss and SP or CP would be given to us, and then we have to find the other things. Alright, so just practice such sort of word problems at home with any textbook of yours, or you can just resolve these sums. Alright, so I'll see you in the next session then, where we'll take some different types of word problems. Alright, bye.